Help me welcome onto the center stage CARA's senior volunteer, Miss Mariel Salazar.
Hi everyone, my name is Mariel. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to talk. So for today, I will be talking about responsible pet ownership. I am from CARA Welfare Philippines. CARA stands for Compassion and Responsibility for Animals. And CARA started since 2000, so we've been operating for 25 years now. Okay, things to consider before owning a pet. Of course, you have to think about the financial cost, long-term care, proper environment, training, and behavior. So in general, taking care of an animal is like taking care of a toddler who cannot speak. So you have to think about all of these things kasi nga, di ba, hindi sila marunong magsalita and we are the one who will be responsible for their well-being. Proper care for pets. So there are 5 freedoms for animal welfare, and first is freedom from hunger and thirst. Of course, this is pretty much self-explanatory kasi that is one of their basic needs that we have to think of. So we have to think about their food as well as like drinks and make sure that they are drinking and eating well. Next is freedom from discomfort. All animals should be kept in a safe and healthy environment that has protection from the elements and a comfortable resting area. Because, of course, kung ano, nagre-reflect sa animals natin kung ano yung environment nila. So, if they are surrounded by stress or if they are stressed or like surrounded by noise or something like that, of course, it will reflect to their behaviors. Next, freedom from pain, injury, or disease. So dito na papasok yung we have to think about, we have to be ready financially because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Just like we humans, may mga needs tayo when it comes like health. For example, merong times na bigla sila magkakasakit. So we have to be ready. We have to think about that kasi, of course, again, just like what I mentioned a while ago, they are just like toddlers who cannot speak. Freedom to express normal behavior. So normal behavior like moving as freely as possible in sufficient space, being able to socialize with another animal, and being kept in proper facilities. That's why, so actually dito papasok yung kailangan nating isipin kung anong klaseng hayop or anong klaseng animal yung best suit para sa atin, especially kung saan tayo nakatira. Kasi may mga breeds na kailangan talaga ng bigger space kasi kailangan nila mag-exercise, something like that. So we have to think about the environment and also the space for them na kung ano yung mag-suit sa kanila as well as sa atin as a pet owner. Next is freedom from fear and distress. Owners must ensure that the condition and treatment of their animals prevents any mental suffering because their mental health is as important as their physical health. Kasi nga, dun din magre-reflect sa behavior ng isang animal ang kanilang environment. So kung paano natin sila tratuhin, kung anong nakapaligid sa kanila, magre-reflect dun sa behavior nila. And we don't want them to be stressed or to feel any sort of discomfort. Proper nutrition for pets. Things to consider when planning your pet's nutrition. You have to think about their age, weight, species, medical conditions, activity level. Dito papasok yung mga nabanggit ko kanina na different types of animals, including reptiles as well, exotic animals. So they also have different needs. They have different needs basically. And also, ang mga animals, sa pagtanda nila, nagbabago na rin yung needs nila and also wants nila, especially in terms of like foods as well as exercise and also nutrition. Different kinds of pet diets. So herbivores, basically herbivores, those are the type of animals who only eat plants. And a continuous food supply, fed at least once daily, is needed to ensure that they remain healthy. So it's also case-to-case basis because there are different types of herbivores out there. So we have to do our research before we get that animal. Next is carnivores, animals that mainly eat meat. So I think we are all aware of, like, one example is like a tiger, something like that. And also cats, they are considered a carnivore, pero I also know some cats who eats plants as well as dogs. So I think those types of animals can be considered as omnivores, but they are labeled as carnivores. And snakes, of course, they are carnivores, they mainly eat meat. Next is omnivores, so those are the animals that eat both plants and meats. So one good example is a mice and also a hamster. And at least once a day, we have to feed them at least once a day and make sure that we do our research, just like what mentioned a while ago. And lastly is insectivores. This is actually the first time I've ever heard about this one. So animals that predominantly eat insects. So one good example of this one is a gecko. I don't know who owns like an exotic animal here. So yeah, that's one good example. And it is also a case-to-case basis. It depends on what kind of reptile or what kind of animal you have. And positive reinforcement training. So what is a positive reinforcement training? So it is like rewarding your pet or your animal immediately after they have exhibit good behavior. And the benefits, or one of the many benefits of good or positive reinforcement training are it builds trust and also reduces stress and fear. So actually, our brand ambassador, Mr. Lestre, he taught us about this one, positive reinforcement. You can also use a clicker as well as like a cheat while trying to teach them about this one. So the good thing about this one, positive reinforcement training, is that it will also help you build healthy relationship with your animal and also teach them better. So forms of positive reinforcement. First is reward them with treats, pet them, and then give them their favorite toys. This is pretty much self-explanatory. And also, one additional is a clicker. You can also use that thing that clicks when you click. That's a clicker. So those are the things that you can use for positive reinforcement. And legal obligations. I think this was already discussed by Ms. Isay a while ago from AKF. So I think I'll just give a little bit summary of this one. So basically, the Animal Welfare Act of 1998 is supported by the amendments of RA 8485. So the main reason why they created the amendments of RA 8485 is para mapatibay yung Animal Welfare Act of 1998. So in summary, parang binibigyan lang na parang the law just want people to take accountable of their actions on how they treat the animals. And what do we do when we see an animal harm or neglect? So first, never forget to collect evidence kasi it's your words against their words. So it's better that we have our evidence against them if in any case something like this happened, and call the authorities. Pets who suffer living in a bad condition usually require immediate medical attention. Above all else, you can either call PAWS or try to go to your local barangay, and feel free to save the PAWS hotline, their number, 475-1688. Adoption or purchase. So there's like this one, as you can see, we do CARA. We try to advocate for adopt, don't shop. But of course, we have nothing against shopping because of course we are pet lovers. There are some like pet lovers out there who likes to have a certain or a specific breed, and that's perfectly fine. Pero minsan kasi nakakainis yung mga pet lovers daw. They label themselves as pet lovers, but they only love those animals that has breed, which is no good. So when you adopt an animal from the shelter, you save lives, you reduce overcrowding, and supports the welfare of animals. And it is way cheaper than buying animals or purchasing them. And the bad thing about purchasing sometimes is I don't know if we are all aware of this, the backyard breeding, where people try to breed certain animals, and sometimes hindi siya maganda kasi nakaka-apekto siya sa health ng animals. And if you want to adopt our rescue animals, these are the steps. First is you can choose a pet from our website, or you can go to our cattery as well as come to our adoption events. Second, you have to fill out an application form which you can find on this website, and we will also conduct an interview, and after that we will be scheduling a home visit, or we will be asking you to send us a video or a picture of your house or of your place. And then lastly, you'll have to pay for the adoption fee of 1,000 for cats and 1,500 for dogs. And the adopter is the one who will be responsible in the vaccinations and deworming of the animal. And here are some of our adoptables. TikTok, Anna, Angel, Diana, Friska, Bobby, Ali, and Homer. So feel free to go to us or come to our booth if you have any questions, if you want to check, feel free. And if you want to join CARA, you can do any of this. You can donate, adopt, foster, and no awa, which means Philippine Animal Welfare Act, sponsor, volunteer, and advocate, whichever. And that's it. Thank you so much. And again, I am Mariel from CARA Welfare Development, Philippines. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can feel free to reach out to us. You can give us a call to this phone number, 0919-579-00547, or send us an email at admin@carafield.org. Thank you so much.